8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
Well, I say go fuck yourself. Then ask the question, could I kill a man? I would enjoy myself. You can't disguise evil eyes that burn a hole in my head. This devil man and his master plan, we feel so misled. So I say, rise up, take all back. Rise up, take it all back. Rise up. I hope you all understand. We got to take it all back again.
These people are not going to take it any longer. We will never give up. We will never concede. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. But go home and go home in peace. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. You do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
There it is. Sorry about that. I had to update and restart my computer, and apparently that is an issue. So, welcome to Thursday's evening catch-up. I hope you all are having a great week. Only one more day until Friday, which is nice, right? One more day until the weekend. I hope you all have something fun going on this weekend. We're getting close to Memorial Day weekend, which should be fun. Memorial Day weekend is right around Riddle Girl's birthday. I am trying to pull something out of my butt for Riddle Girl's birthday. Fingers crossed I'm able to do it. It's multiple parts. It's something I think she's actually going to like, and I'm looking forward to doing it. We'll see. We'll see. Other than that, I've been trying to think of other things that we can do here on the channel that, you know, are a little bit less against YouTube's, what do you call it, basically fluctuating terms of service. You know, what can we do here on the channel? Obviously, the marijuana growing thing, that would be probably fine on YouTube. I have no idea. I haven't looked into it. But I'm trying to think of what kind of freedom stuff can we do that, you know, I ain't going to get bothered too much on YouTube about. I haven't decided yet. We might, maybe I will continue to do the evening catch-up. As I said, I will take a week off. I'm trying to, first of all, it'll accomplish two things. It'll give me a little bit of a break, but by probably about mid of that week, I'll be like, man, I need to get back online. I miss them, right? So that'll get me reinvigorated on getting back into it and stuff like that. As far as what I'm going to do, I'm not exactly sure. Parts of me does like to catch up on the news, and I think I'd like to implement that a little bit into anything that we put forward. Could be, I could just call it a podcast instead of an, you know, well, I mean, it is. It's basically a podcast. Whatever that is. That's what this is, I think. What's up, Quantum? How you doing? So yeah, we're Little Girl's birthday's coming up. I'm excited. I think I hope to be able to pull this one off. Who knows? We'll see. Other than that, not a whole lot going on for me this weekend. I don't have any plans this weekend. I'd like to go somewhere and do something though. Anyway, you call it in on podcast. You call in on a podcast. Do you call in? We could have callers. I can get us a phone number where you could dial in. We could have multiple people on a stream like I did with the Green Dragon. We could do that on Discord. Ooh, that would be a great way to get people to sign up for my Discord, right? You want to be on air? You gotta be on our Discord call. The only difference with that is, do I want it to be like a group chat the whole time, or is it going to be a call in, make your little comment, and then, well, thank you for your call, and you know, and move on? I don't know. First of all, I've always had a problem, like, let's say Quantum Lotus calls in, right? Oh, I want to get your idea about yada, yada, yada. Okay, great. And then click. I feel bad, right? I'd feel bad because maybe there's a follow-up to that. Real Girl's B-Day present. You better not mess this one up. I have messed it up in the past. I have messed it up many a time. One is the most epic. You want to hear the most epic ever birthday fail that I ever did? I believe me and my daughter had gotten her a butterfly necklace. I believe it was for Christmas or something to that effect, right? But and she likes butterflies and she doesn't wear a lot of jewelry, but this was so pretty. It had so many little stones and most of them were fake, well, obviously. But it was very pretty. And so we decided to get her this butterfly necklace. Well, a little time goes on and my memory is wiped. And guess what we get her for her birthday? That same necklace. Forgetting, because she never wore the first one. Forgetting that she even had that, I guess. And so we bought her the same thing twice. And I still feel bad about that. Little Girl's a little bit difficult to buy for. She likes things that are useful. She doesn't like things like jewelry that doesn't do anything but look pretty, right? I mean, I think she does like things that look pretty. She just doesn't like to admit it. But she definitely likes things that help her out. And so a lot of the times I would get her kitchen gadgets for her birthday because I like food. I like it when she cooks me food. And she likes the gadgets. We watch a channel on YouTube called Freaking Reviews. He's a pretty big channel now. We started watching him when he wasn't too big. But he does product reviews. He used to do mostly as seen on TV product reviews. But he's going into other ones as well. So, yeah, there's always great gift ideas there. Yeah, oh boy, I'm telling you. It was for Mother's Day. Okay, well, it was still a horrible, horrible thing. And I still feel just awful. Just awful. Anyway, yeah, so that's what's coming up. Let's go ahead and see what we got because we got some news on the Arizona front. Arizona Senate leader reveals major discrepancies in the Maricopa. Let's try this again. Arizona Senate leader reveals major discrepancies in Maricopa's voting data. They don't want the United States or the world to see what is going on with our corrupt third world election, somebody said. Arizona auditors appeared to confirm the suspicion and fears of many, highlighting significant discrepancies in the Maricopa County ballot counts. Here's at Arizona Audit from Maricopa, Arizona Audit. Breaking update. As we open 1 second. As we open boxes of ballots delivered by Maricopa County, we are discovering significant discrepancies between the number of ballots therein and the batch reports included in the boxes. Oh, snap! From the outset, Democrats have fought the effort tooth and nail at using every possible resource at their disposal to thwart, one of my favorite words, word of the day, thwart, and later discredit the audit commissioned by the Republican-led state Senate. Instead of their fierce aversion to transparency has left, Instead, their fierce aversion to transparency has left skeptics of the disputed 2020 outcome wondering what the Democrats were so afraid of. On Wednesday, GOP legislator Karen Fann, president of the Arizona State Senate, answered that question in a letter to Maricopa Board Chair Jack Sellers. Fann raised what she said was 3 serious issues with the audit process: ongoing non-compliance with the legislative subpoenas, meaning they're not doing what they're supposed to do when the court says they have to do it, I guess. Chain of custody and ballot organization anomalies, and deleted databases. Subpoena noncompliance. The first of these stemmed from a refusal to grant access to passwords and virtual images of the routers used for the election. Maricopa officials, led by George Soros-funded Sheriff Paul Pinzone, he's the one that replaced Sheriff Joe Arpaio, have claimed the requested material might expose sensitive information, including law enforcement data that would endanger lives. But many wondered why the sheriff's office would have kept this in the same database as the voter data, fully aware that the voting information would be subject to an audit. If true, the fact that Maricopa County stores on its routers substantial quantities of citizens and employees' highly sensitive personal information is an alarming indictment of the county's lax data security practices rather than of the legislative subpoenas, Fann observed in the letter. She also dismissed a separate claim that would cost that the... Okay. Let's see, hold on. Well. I thought there were no discrepancies. There's plenty of them, apparently. People stormed the Capitol for no reason. They did. She also dismissed a separate claim that the cost would be prohibitively expensive after county officials claimed it would cost $6 million to supply the routers. $6 million bucks? That's it? I bet you I could do better than that. Fann said the claim was at odds with earlier reports that routers already had been disconnected from the county's network and were prepared for immediate delivery to the Senate. But she argued to hold on. Today's going to be one of those days. Thank you for sticking with me here. But she agreed to a compromise by allowing the county to retain custody and for the auditors to review them within a county facility. regarding the passwords, which the county claimed it didn't have. Fans said it was equally alarming that it would have relinquished control of these to a private company, Dominion Voting Systems, which has faced widespread allegations of having manipulated the voting to favor Democratic Joe Biden, allegedly. I would like to point out, allegedly. It stains cruelty to post that the county has no contractual right to obtain, i.e. control of, password information from Dominion, Fan wrote. Chain of custody and ballot anomalies. Fan outlined 5 separate issues regarding Maricopa County's handling, organization, and storage of the ballots. First, noting that the county had produced no documentation at all about the chain of custody. She also said the bags storing them were not sealed and that the seals initially placed on them appeared to have been cut. Boxes containing the ballots were poorly organized, and they also appear to have been sealed only with adhesive tape, presenting the possibility of tampering. Most damning of all, however, was that several of the ballot counts appeared to have major discrepancies. Major. The audit team has encountered a significant number of instances in which there is a disparity between the actual number of ballots contained in a batch and the total denoted on the pink report slip accompanying the batch, she wrote. So I'm guessing, and I'm a layman to this, I'm guessing that you have a box worth of ballots, right? And on that box is a slip that says, okay, well, this is how many ballots are in there. And then you open up that box and you find out, no, there's not that many ballots in this box. In most of these instances, the total on the pink report slip is greater than the number of the ballots in the batch, although there are a few instances in which the total is lower, she said. It was unclear whether the discrepancies might have resulted from the poor organization or from the It is unclear whether the discrepancies might have resulted from poor organization or from intentional vote darfing. Okay. Armed Angel, what's up, Armed Angel? How you doing? Good. How you doing? I'm doing great. What's up, Mule? Yeah, always great to have Mule Team here. So we're talking a little bit about the Arizona audit. They're finding major discrepancies. Deleted database. A database directory was deleted from the primary machine used in the county's election management system software, which included some of the materials covered by the Senate subpoena, Fan said. Another primary database labeled results tally and reporting, which was widely referenced on some of the client servers, was nowhere to be found in the mainframe. This suggests that the main database for all election-related data for the November 2020 general election has been removed, Fan said. Fan said she hoped to resolve the issue without the need of another subpoena, and she invited sellers to a meeting next Tuesday, which would be live streamed for the public. Ooh, next Tuesday. That'd be fun. Former President Trump issued a statement in response to the devastating developments outlined by Fan and denouncing the left's efforts to quash the story. The fake news and the lamestream media is doing everything they can not to cover this major story, he said. They just refuse to talk or report about it, he continued. They don't want the United States or the world to see what is going on with our corrupt third world election. At least 2 activist groups linked to Soros have been part of the smear campaign, waging legal challenges and presenting partisan disinformation that is widely echoed by the mainstream media. Others have high-level ties to Democrats, including former President Barack Obama, as well as links to an institute backed by the Chinese Communist Party. We will be keeping an eye on this one. I can guarantee it. Not even almost, I can guarantee it. We'll keep an eye on this, even after the next Friday. Of course, they're fine darfing, and we knew this already. Yeah, I know we know this, but it's nice to actually see it coming out. And there is stories about it. Are you going to see it on CNN, MSNBC? No. Are you going to watch that shit anyway? No. I've been telling people ever since the election that I'm pretty sure, I'm a layman, but I see trends. I've never seen, and I've seen a few now of, election nights, and you see the trend of the votes throughout the night, right? Never have I ever seen one that, supposedly stops because it's too late and then just spike 99 point something odd percent in that 1 hour or that couple hours was just for Biden. Are you kidding me? That alone, just don't want to do the okay. That alone was enough, in my opinion. There is no way in hell that you can have 90 something percent of votes coming in one little section that are just for Biden. Biden had more votes than Obama did in his first term. Our first black president. All the virtue signaling that was going on in 2008. 2008 was America's great day. We finally elected an African American to be our president of the United States. See, it proves we're not racist. Everybody's claimed. We elected our first black president. Oh, he was beloved. There was people on the right that were happy that he won. Finally, we can put our racist past behind us. Joe Biden got more votes than him. Trump got more votes than he got in 2016 and still lost. Are you kidding me? My goodness. What's up, Mr. Tommy Boy 9? Just woke up. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for the email. Oh, you're welcome. If you guys don't want to get the, I don't know. If anybody is on the email alerts that don't want it, all you have to do is like, hey man, take me off the email alerts. But I do appreciate that you guys are here. I'm glad the emails are working. If you were on my Discord, you'd automatically get a little notification because Discord is awesome and you should try it. Liz Cheney, I'll do whatever it takes to keep Trump out of office. Now, we touched on this story a little bit yesterday, so I'm not going to read this part because this is, she's going to do whatever it takes to make sure he's never near the Oval Office ever again. The Wyoming Congresswoman initially appeared to support Trump. However, a public rift developed in 2019 over his opposition to military involvement in regions like Iran and Afghanistan. You want to know why? Because she's a warmonger, just like her husband was. Just like McCain. McCain was. The reason why McCain and Flake did not like Trump is because he didn't want to be a warmonger. That's one of the best things Trump did in his 4 years, and I will give him credit for this. He did not get us into another war. Oh, and that pissed them off. They get money. They get money because they have military contracts ready to go. And they are profiting off of Americans dying for some foreign land, for some foreign reason that we shouldn't be involved in the first place. Anyway, let's see. Given Trump's continuing appeal with much of the conservative base, Cheney says the threat of another January 6th event now outweighed even the possibility of another September 11th. So she's saying that what happened on the 6th of January was worse than what happened on September 11th, 2001. Keeping the former GOP leader out of power should be number one priority, she insisted. I think that it's most important issue that we're facing right now as a country. Wow. She said, and we are facing a huge array of issues, so he must not ever again be anywhere close to the Oval Office. When asked if she would ever consider a presidential run herself, Cheney says, I'm going to do everything I can, both to make sure that Trump re-election never happens, but also to make sure that the Republican Party gets back to the substance and policy. Substance and policy? What's substance and policy? In Flake, remember Flake yesterday saying that Liz Cheney was ousted because she was too honest and that we need to get back together as a Republican Party. What? So that we can do nothing? So that we can promise our base that if we get reelected, we're going to help them out on their gun rules or gun laws, that we're going to tax them less, that we're going to be fiscally conservative. And then as soon as they get elected, they do none of that. And they just kiss up to the side that didn't vote for him in the first place? Why is it that when I vote for a Republican to go into office and he makes it, then he's trying to appeal to the Democrats who didn't even vote for him? I saw that with McCain. When McCain ran for president in 2008, I couldn't believe it. I was still digging with McCain at the time because at least he was, I'd voted for him when I was younger. And I was like, okay, well, he's from Arizona, so, rep AZ. This was before I was a little bit more aware of what was going on. And all I could see is this guy allowing Barack Obama to get away with everything. And when one of McCain's voters said, well, what about his birth certificate? And started getting on the whole thing there. Oh, he backed off of that. He had a chance to actually say something good, but not only did he not say anything good, he stuck up for Barack Obama. In my opinion, McCain was just there to be somebody on the other side while we were getting Obama elected. He didn't want to be president. He obviously didn't want to be president. He gave it up. And that was probably one of my first instances of thinking, I don't know if he even wanted to be. I wonder what's going on here. It's almost like it's, bought and paid for at this point. That was my first inclination that, I guess it's Obama's time now. Just like Bernie always gets screwed over by Hillary or whoever else is running, right? Oh, my goodness. Oh, the daughter. I thought it was his wife. I hate political families.
I'm not hearing the video.
All right, not hearing the video. Okay. All right, no problem. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Keep messing with settings. So Liz Cheney is not Dick Cheney's wife. It's his daughter. Good. Got it. Well, it's Obama or McCain, so no surprise. Well, I'm just saying McCain didn't want it. I thought he would. I'm like, all right, Arizona rep, I voted for him. I'm down. I ain't going to vote for this guy just because he's a certain color. That's exactly against Martin Luther King, right? But everybody else did. Yeah, can't hear the video, Guns? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. My bad.
On Wednesday, Republicans voted to remove Liz Cheney, a congresswoman from Wyoming, from the leadership position within the party as conference chair because, well, traitors like her have no position being in the Republican Party, let alone in a position of leadership. And so the Democrats and the liberal media industrial complex are absolutely furious because this shows that the overwhelming majority of the Republican Party still supports President Trump. She was one of just 10 Republicans in the House who voted for impeaching President Trump, and she won't stop complaining about him. So Kevin McCarthy finally did the right thing and got rid of her. She's the daughter of Dick Cheney, one of the most evil men in American politics, and one of the architects of the Iraq War and the weapons of mass destruction hoax, which of course led to it. But she never denounced that. She never denounced him, never apologized for that, or the countless unnecessary casualties and injuries that war caused, because she wants more, because, well, she's following in Darth Cheney's footsteps as a fellow neocon. All throughout the Trump administration, she criticized his foreign policy because she thirsted to send our troops to more wars for foreign countries. So she's much happier under the Kamala administration. So now the big news is that over 100 Republicans have signed a letter demanding that the Republican Party denounce President Trump, or else they might break away and form a third party.
Good luck.
Republicans,
Don't let the
meaning
door hit you.
rhinos, neocons, and globalists. Such heavy hitters like Jeff Flake, George Conway, and Evan McMullen. I'm sorry. Remember him? He's Mitt Romney's friend, former CIA operative. He has a head bigger than Brian Stelter's. I don't think he's held any political office, or if he did, it was some city council position in a small town in Utah somewhere. Donald Trump forever changed the course of the Republican Party and conservatism in America, and so the establishment is pissed. Every day, like literally every single day on cable news, CNN and MSNBC, they complain about January 6th and the insurrection, and only a dozen Republicans have denounced Donald Trump. And they've taken a term from World War II, the big lie, in an attempt to draw another parallel between Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler, claiming that everything that he said about the outcome of the election was the big lie. In reality, the big lie is the liberal media's claims that the protest at the Capitol on January 6th was an attempted insurrection and that President Trump incited it all. There are many facets to the big lie, such as that Black Lives Matter is a peaceful civil rights movement that just wants...
All right, I'm gonna end it right there. Let's see. To Mule Team, no, I haven't heard about that. Where is that at? There it is. Did you see Clint Smith give ATF ammo against gun owners? No. Clint Smith. Copy. ATF. Clint Smith, President and Director of Thunder Ranch, is a Marine Corps. Okay, hold on. Is a Marine Corps veteran of 2 infantry and combined action plan tours in Vietnam. His experience includes 7 years as a police officer, during which he served at yada yada yada. Mr. Smith is noted for his common sense quotations about guns and personal defense. If you know of a gun quote from Mr. Smith not listed here, send it to us, but make sure it's not already listed. Okay, yeah. This is not the story that I'm looking for. Allegations against the ATF. Isn't this the guy that used to be the ATF agent that always goes out and says this is not a firearm because it's a lower, and the lower is not a firearm because it doesn't meet the definition? Give ATF ammo against gun owners. No, I didn't see that. If you got a link, let me know. I'd love to know more about that. I don't care, but for reference, Liz was also gay, which was a controversy back when Dick supported her. Okay. I didn't know that. Ours had a problem with it. I would imagine so. A lot of Republicans don't like gay people, or didn't back then because they thought they're based in it. They were probably fine with it. It's just, whatever's going to get us elected, And now that it's not cool to hate on people because what they want to do in the bedroom, they're totally against it, or they're totally for gay people now. So, I guess whatever. That's a 5-head. Yeah. They're all foes. Watch my new video. I will. Hey, troll, you're back. Long time no. Who's the troll? Or look up what he said about braces. No. I'll watch you. Who's our troll? I have no idea. Might have already been taken care of. Let's see. Mule Team's putting out a lot of videos. I'm liking it.
How's it going, YouTube, and anybody else that gives a rat's ass? Yeah, another video from me. I do this once in a while. I'll make a bunch of videos, and then I'll...
Hey, I like the No Step on Snake patch. That's cool.
And
I was looking
this
for
is
that
another
one. I
one
couldn't
from
find
me.
it. I'm going to have to get
From me.
one of those.
Okay, so here you go. Right? First of all, still loving... Took the M&P back out. Got a holster for it.
Nice.
Now just saving up for the optic. That's first. Love this thing.
You're gonna. I hope you love that optic because I know I like mine.
Anyway, so watched
I do
that.
like my
like a lot of
1911
people
thumb safety.
watched that TFB TV interview with Clint Smith, and all I got to say is, look, nobody's on your side. Nobody. Your neighbor's not on your side. Other people in the gun 2A community are not on your side.
Nobody's gonna show up.
They
for
all
you.
have their own opinions. A lot of them are
Yeah, we
okay
talked
with
about
gun
this the other
control.
day.
Don't think they're not. You just heard a guy who's put up as like the next Jeff Cooper, right? Clint Smith. You just heard him say how he's okay with gun control. He says you're cheating when you use a brace because you know it's an SBR, and yet
Yeah, I know people like, well, you're skirting the law with the bump stock, and you're doing this and skirting this and skirting that. Well, here's the problem. You're welcome. You're welcome that I am deciding to go around and skirt it. You're welcome that I have a bump stock and not a fully automatic. You're welcome that I have a pistol AR-15 and not a SBR. You're welcome, because you know what? The Constitution says shall not be infringed, and every single law on the NFA is an infringement. So I am doing you a favor by trying to stay within the law as it's written, the unconstitutional law. You're welcome on that. Just like in California. You see some of these people's AR-15s in California. In order to have an AR-15 in California, all the weird shit that they have to put on it, so it doesn't have a pistol grip on it, so it has to have this like weird, all the hoops they have to jump through, the bullet button nonsense. That's all infringements. You're welcome for everybody who goes through all that, for everybody that skirts it. They're trying to stay within the system.
you're cheating because you're using a braced pistol like it's an SBR. No fucking shit, dumbass. They make the rules. We find the loopholes.
Yep.
No shit. Right? Just like Rob Petraeus. Right? Rob Petraeus, his fucking name should be Betrayus. Right? That cocksucker. Right?
You're welcome,
Got
Guns.
together with Gun Control Group to, even though this dude makes videos of how to make homemade weapons, he gets together with a gun control group, one of Bloomberg's, and outlines how all that shit should be registered. What happens weeks later? The ATF basically takes his fucking blueprint and now wants to make that law through regulation on quote-unquote ghost guns, homemade weapons that you've been able to do since the dawn of this country, right?
CSR
But
Firearms
Petraeus
had a pretty
thinks he
decent
should
video
be
on that.
putting a serial number on it. So now the ATF is like, we got one fucking guy. We got one guy who's a gun guy, right? Everybody loved Rob Petraeus, right? Rob Petraeus was a fucking gun instructor. Everybody does what he does. So he says,
of
okay,
FUDs.
we're cool with gun control on this one thing. So now that's what the ATF says. What the fuck do you think the ATF is going to do now that fucking Thunder Ranch asshole had his fucking say on how we're cheating? Well, you just gave it to the ATF to say that putting a fucking putting a pistol brace to your shoulder is now cheating the ATF, which we all fucking knew. And a bunch of you assholes out there, you fucking gun tubers who suck the dick of every fucking gun company that'll give you free shit.
I wish I
right?
got free.
And then you'll rape fucking when you find a deal, right? Right, talking to you, fucking Stromgewehr, right? Oh, once everybody said, oh, that was a bad name, you changed it to MAC, Military Arms Channel. Well, fuck you, Stromgewehr, okay, with raping people for a rifle
I missed
that
this
is
drama.
definitely not worth 10 grand, okay? That fucking
Military
Hungarian
Arms Channel?
SVD, it ain't fucking worth it. Okay, and you collectors, yeah, you're the same kinds of pieces of shit that do not want the NFA turned over because you've put in way too much fucking money into NFA items.
Well, yeah, get this. If you bought a fully automatic weapon, and there's quite a few big YouTubers on here that have fully automatic weapons, you paid probably $15,000 to $30,000. $15,000 to $30,000 for a fully automatic firearm. If the NFA goes away tomorrow, that firearm is worth 500. Well, now in nowadays terminology, I don't know. It's worth like $500 or $600, maybe $1,000, right? Depending on the firearm. But if we didn't have the NFA, that there's nothing special about that firearm. It does not need to be that expensive. The only reason it's that expensive is because you can't produce anything new since 1986. So pretty much everything that's fully automatic is already made unless you get a special license to manufacture fully automatic weapons. And I guess you could go that route. But oh my God, you want to talk about bending over and taking it from the government? Oh, sign up and get your gunsmithing license where you can manufacture fully automatic weapons and see how much fun it is to get a visit from them like all the time. All right. If everyone would treat ATF like they were lepers, these conversations wouldn't happen. Well, the ATF has got like 3 people per state, so it's not, I mean, it's the local law enforcement that's going to come to your door. Not, I mean, the ATF will be there, like 3 guys, and then the rest of it's your local PD. Mule Team's right. Yeah, he is. No one's on our side. I mean, I'm on your side. I have a suppressor. I would be fine with it being 100% legal and just not even a normal background check. It should be like buying a muffler for your vehicle, right? That would bring down suppressors quite a bit because then a whole bunch of companies would start making them, which would be great because then you'd have all sorts of different new designs and shit. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. The $1,000 suppressor that I got probably dropped almost in half. Maybe there's the $200 tax stamp. Wouldn't have to do that. There's $200 lost. I'll never get back. You know what? I'm fine with it. If I had a fully automatic, which God help me if I ever can afford that. If I can afford that, I'm doing really well. But no, man. Let's see. That's why I've illegally. Oh, no, I ain't gonna read that. What's up, Broken Patriot? How you doing? Yep, still following on constitutional laws. People start getting some balls. Yeah. Here's the thing. They are, and I think it's why we're seeing a lot of movement towards the 80%ers, because by building your own firearm and getting into that part of it, you are now in. It's not just putting it together. There was a lot of people that put together AR-15s, but there was a lot more people that just went to the store and bought one. Now people are like, ooh, I kind of want to build one, right? You know, it's kind of cool. Nobody's going to know about it for one. For two, it seems like a cool hobby. Maybe I will. There's a lot of people that were making 1911s. There's no reason to make a 1911 that's off the books other than you just want to do it and have a good time. And yeah, it is what it is, right? But with the AR-15s, that brought in a few other people that wanted to get into the whole 80% lowers. Well, you start getting into that manufacturing, you're like, I wonder what else I could do. You know, you got a pistol brace. You see and everybody had a pistol brace, right? A whole bunch of people have a pistol brace on their AR-15s. Well, I want a pistol brace too, right? So they get into that, and you get these people that are learning how to get around the law and how easy it is to actually break it. Like if you wanted to, guess what? There's part kits you can buy. Guess what? There are jigs that you can buy. There's a whole bunch of things that you can buy legally right now, and with very little modification, do something bad and illegal that you should definitely not do. But there's a lot of people that are getting knowledge on that, and that, I think, that is the real reason why they're really going after 80% lowers, is because knowledge is spreading and knowledge is power.
So if they do away with the NFA, you don't get any of that fucking money back.
Nope.
And the guns that you own that are supposedly worth 30 grand are back down to being worth the fucking same as every other rifle. Mm-hmm. So no way in fucking hell are these people going to be pro getting rid of the NFA, right? Or pro getting rid of the ATF.
6 hours.
They
Holy
have too
shit.
much money involved. Everybody needs to understand, nobody is on your side. They're on the side of fucking money. And they always will be. When it comes down to money, right? they will back that. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about anything. They give a fuck about money. Same with cops. I keep trying to tell people. Cops are going to be the ones kicking in your doors. Even if your state says no, the federal government will offer them money or free shit, and they will kick in your fucking door and back up the ATF because of money. The cop that you think is your friend is not. Hey, Eagle. Hey, OFI Eagle or OIF Eagle. Hey, buddy, cops ain't your friends. And you're wearing the fucking boot, dude. You wear the boot. That's why you like the boot liquors. Simple.
Is OIF Eagle still around? I think I was subscribed to him. Hold on. I don't remember him doing a video anytime recent. 4 years ago. Yeah, okay. Just checking. All right. So Mule did a lot of great points there. I did link that video in the chat. Go give it a like. Watch it, even though you've already watched it here. All right. Let me get back onto some of these comments. We have and the people that say go into the streets in public with your law breaking and be a man. Fuck you too. Yeah, I know, right? Well, if you're gonna do that, just do it and go out and tell everybody. Alphabet soups aren't in consideration. Same with the bureaucracy. My frame filter works just fine. I wasn't born with balls, but I identify. Consistent Constitution auto type in YouTube won't let me write it. Okay. Start to finish took about 6 hours to finish a lower. What are you doing, man? Are you doing it with a whetstone? Are you going in there with an emery board and just like slowly? Dude, it took me 30 minutes. 30 minutes. And I don't go fast. Oh, my work is clean. My work is nice. If I could, I'd show you. I've already put it on camera, so I don't really don't care. Yeah, Riddle Girl even said, you need a better router. That's what that is. You need a much better router than that. Biden Min is about cooperation. The policy enforces carbon tax, gun tax. Yep. It's a lot faster after you know what you're doing. That is true. You go faster. The first lower I ever did like that, I was on one leg because I had broken my leg. I had gotten my jig in the mail. I had gotten my 80%. I was excited to do it. I failed, broke my ankle, and I was in the hospital and nursing facility for like weeks. And finally, when I get home and I'm able to stand on one foot decently, which was difficult, but I was able to. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna mill this out on one leg. Fuck it. And I did. And it was not a great job. In fact, one of the pinholes, I think it's the trigger pin, is a little bit oval shaped because when drilling that pinhole, it broke off and went in kind of at an angle. So it's a little bit oblonged, but I just put on some anti-rotational pins and it seems fine. It actually works fine. The safety is a little bit hard to manipulate, but other than that, it's really good. It doesn't look clean inside, but I'll tell you what, the one on my 300 blackout pistol, man, it looks nice. Half an hour and done. Yeah, 30 minutes. No, I need bitter bits. Yeah, that could be it too. Well, I agree with that. Cops aren't your friends, says Skyrim. Yep. I'm almost down to 2 hours. My goodness, that's still a long time. I ain't no fan of cops, Child's Play, and it's a Patriot shakedown. This is why they're releasing prisoners to make room for patriots. Just to ease marijuana had been criminalized and had their snitches. Anti-2A will make Salem witch trials look like Children's Play. Wow, no, we are still friends on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. Riddle Girl might be. I know I haven't deleted my Facebook. Oh, you're friends with OIF Eagle on Facebook. Oh, okay, I haven't been on Facebook. That's why I have no idea. All right, Trump backs Stefank for GOP leadership despite attacks on moderate record. Representative Chip Roy from Texas was reportedly considering a bid for the House GOP conference chair to challenge Representative Elise Stefank of New York. The closely watched contest pits two rising GOP stars in a bid to replace Liz Cheney, nice, who was ousted from leadership on Wednesday. Both made names for themselves during the Trump presidency, Roy as a staunch border security advocate and the lady, as a no-hold-bar interrogator during the House Intelligence Committee in 2019 impeachment hearings against former President Trump. Stefank, the favorite for her position, is backed by Trump and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy from California. However, Roy, a member of the Conservative Freedom Caucus, publicly expressed concerns about her moderate voting record. With all due respect to my friend, Ariz, let us contemplate the message Republican leadership is about to send by rushing to coordinate a spokesperson whose voting record embodies much of what led to the 2018 ass-kicking we received by Democrats. In the memo, Roy pointed to several of her controversial votes. She was in favor of the Leftist Equality Act. I don't remember what that was exactly about. Against Trump's proposed withdrawal from Afghanistan. That's bullcrap, because we shouldn't even be there. The Equality Act is kind of bullshit in my opinion. Everybody is created equal. If you don't think you have equal rights in this country, then you think you don't have enough. You think you're special. Special people. You gotta love special people. I deal with one special person that's, I try not to. I really just try not to talk to this person at all because it's always an excuse. Why they didn't do well. There's well, it's not my fault. It was against me. So, I should have been able to do this. Always making those excuses. Why? Because they think they're special. That's why you get into that kind of lifestyle. It's not okay. It's not okay to just be gay. Just being gay, guess what? You have the same rights as everybody else. Now that you got, you can get married. I even was okay with you going for getting married, right? Fine. You want to get married? Get married. Now, that's not enough, right? So, that's not special either. So now you got to be extra special. How do you get extra special? You become transgendered. Yeah, then you're extra special. And if anybody disagrees with you on anything, it's because they're homophobic or transphobic. Yeah, extra special. Against Trump's proposed withdrawal from Afghanistan, against Trump's tax cuts, in favor of ending the emergency declaration that allowed Trump to begin constructing the southern border wall. So she was against the border wall even. In total, Stefank voted with Trump only 77.7% of the time, according to the 538, while Cheney voted with Trump 92.9% of the time. Well, then he should back Cheney, I guess. After vacating the current conference chair held by Chairwoman Cheney, we should either choose someone who reflects our conservative values or perhaps leave the position vacant and focus not on a position most people do not care about. There you go. Instead of engaging in palace intrigue that offered fodder to Democratic political adversaries, Roy said the GOP should focus on maintaining a unified front on its messaging. There's a guy walking himself down the street with a mask on, being very safe. All right. That's all I got on that. That's one of my many reasons the M1911 whips the Beretta as an army. Ooh, hold up. Hold up. I missed some stuff. Does anyone have COD Warzone? I do. I play it. Man, the loser gun parts fit together, the more reliable they operate. The looser the gun parts fit together, the more reliable they operate. Yeah, that's the whole thing with the Glock. When it comes to a lower AR-15, no, it's not great. It's not great. That's one of many reasons the M1911 whips the Beretta. Okay, Leftist Equality Act that just sounds like an oxymoron. Yeah. QL, everything they do is some form of moronic. Everything else is to blame, says Salt and Prepper. I love Salt and Prepper. Dude, absolutely best name. LOL, LGBTQ plus wants federal to protect them from discrimination. Oh, boy. And there's not really that much. I mean, there's always an asshole. There's always going to be racism, right? There's always going to be that one white guy. All right, get out of my neighborhood. There's always going to be, and if you go out dressed like a girl and you're obviously a boy, you're going to get some people like, that's a dude. You can't protect, you can't have the government like make that a hate crime. I mean, maybe you can today. Who knows? Gays doesn't seem to understand. I don't give a damn if they're gay until they start bothering me about them being gay. Well, I don't really like knowing a person's sexual orientation, like as soon as I meet them. The fake lisp, right? I don't like that. I think that's ridiculous. But at the same time, I don't really give a fuck, man. Sleep with whoever you want to sleep. You know what? There's been a few times where I found out they were gay later on. I'm like, wow, really? I never would have guessed that. Thank you. Thank you to those people. I want to shake your hand. I don't even care if you just touched a penis that wasn't your own. I want to shake it. Thank you. Just did. Federal law. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Knife Jesus. Oh, we have another Jesus in the house. Nice. The CDC now says that people who got the shot can mostly ditch mask indoors. I was looking for the video and I could not find it. There was a video. I thought it was Mark Dice, but it wasn't. There was a video that said, maybe it was Tucker Carlson, that the majority of the people who got the shot still don't feel comfortable going out and they still wear their mask. Like out of all the people, and they did a whole bunch. Yeah, I think it was on Tucker. There was a whole bunch of different categories, right? And all of them, like, would you go to a sporting event? Would you go outside without wearing your mask? Would you go to do this? Would you go to do that? And the people who had the shot, who got the shot, were the ones that said no, they still weren't comfortable going out. No, they would not go to a game. Stuff like that. Those people are hook, line, and sinker scared. They're scared. Please, daddy government. Please, daddy government. Please protect me. Like non-believers, too. In a move to send the country back towards pre-pandemic life, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on Thursday eased indoor mask wearing guidance for fully shotted people, allowing them to stop wearing masks inside of most places. Nice. Thank you, CDC, a non-government agent. The new guidance still calls for wearing masks in crowded indoor settings like buses, planes, hospitals, prisons, and homeless shelters. Can you imagine being in a prison and forced to wear a mask all the time? Oh, man, it's so. Even removing the needs for mask or social distancing for those who are fully shotted. We have all long waited for this moment when we could go back to some sense of normalcy, said Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the CDC. The CDC will also no longer recommend that fully shotted people wear masks outdoors in crowds. The announcement comes as the CDC and Biden administration have faced pressure to ease restrictions on fully shotted people. People who are 2 weeks past their last requirement sniffle 19 shot dose, in part to highlight the benefits of getting the shot. See, if you just get the shot, your life can go back to normal. And as I've said, I don't know if this is the mark of the beast, but if nothing else, this is a good test, litmus test, to see how that would work. Let's say this is not. Well, you can already tell there's a lot of people who, if they need to, they are going to take on the mark of the beast, even if it's announced as the mark of the beast. They could come out tomorrow like, okay, everybody, you're going to get your mark of the beast. If you really, really want the mark of the beast, it's going to go on your forehead. If you don't really want it, but you're still going to get it, it's going to go on your hand. Come get your mark of the beast so that you can shop and trade and go places. Well, we already know a lot of people are ready to do whatever they have to do to get their sniffle shot and get their sniffle passport. We have people in our own community who are fully expecting to go and do that. There are people in the medical field that believe that it's not a good thing for them, that they shouldn't do it. Guess what? They're probably still going to get it. Why? Because they want a job. You want to be able to pay your bills. And when the mark of the beast comes, and it's your job and your livelihood or your eternal soul, it's going to be a real sad day to see a lot of people like, yeah, I want to be able to eat. I want to be able to pay my bills. I don't envy you. The CDC guidance on masks was not consistent with the overwhelming scientific evidence, said Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine. Today's announcement on masks, while overdue, is certainly a step in the right direction, and I am pleased to see the CDC finally take action to align its guidance with the recommendations of scientific experts. In a hearing on Wednesday, Collins had taken Walensky to task for the CDC's inconsistent guidance and failure to follow sound science. I always considered the CDC to be a gold standard. I don't anymore, Collins told Walensky. Well, even in the AIDS epidemic, what did the CDC do during the AIDS epidemic? The CDC came out and said, you cannot get AIDS by drinking out of a water fountain. You cannot get AIDS by shaking somebody's hand. They came out with a whole list of things you could not get AIDS from. You cannot get AIDS from kissing. What is the CDC doing about the sniffles? You can get it everywhere. Oh, it's everywhere. You got to wear your mask. You got to do... CDC has lost a lot of credibility. Let's see. Just did... Found a 1964 nickel. Is that good? No. Unfortunately, no. Nickels, there's only like a couple years of nickels that are worth anything. Those are 1942 to 45, I believe. I don't have any of them. But those would be considered war nickels because they're during the World War II. So if you ever get a nickel that's from 1941, because I don't know if it's 1941. I know it was at least 43, 44, and 45. But I would definitely check nickels from the mid 40s to see if they're a war nickel. They would have 30% silver in them. They're not a lot of silver. They're lifting mask mandates where I work, and some people are actually pissed. I would imagine the people that, oh, please, daddy government, please, I gotta be, I bet you they're fully vaccinated. Ah, damn, I said the shot word. It's wrong if I like wearing a mask. Screw their pooch on any cameras around doing facial recognition. Not really. If you're worried about facial recognition, and I do, and I suggested that anybody who went to the Capitol or anywhere else on the 6th to not only wear your mask, wear a full-on buff, right? The one that goes all the way around. Have your hat down low and wear your glasses. Do not go in your own vehicle, right? Because facial recognition still works with your eyebrows and your eyes. Do some research on the Walmart facial recognition when you go into a Walmart. They don't need to see your face or your nose and your mouth. All they need is your eyes and your eyebrows. And apparently you gape in your walk. I don't even know about that one, but that was something that I heard. Let's see. Think about the psyop. The sniffles were. People are upset they're taking the mask. Yeah, they're upset that they're getting their freedom back. They're upset about getting their freedom back. And that's how Liberty goes out. Well, Liberty went out a long time ago. Just the pennies. Pennies are cool. Pennies before 1982 are, well, actually some pennies in 1982. But pennies before 1982 were copper. Copper pennies are worth like 3 cents a penny now. So if you hoard them, and when they do away with pennies, you can then melt them all down and make a whole bunch of money. All right. And are we having fun yet? Yeah, we're having a great time. What about sunglasses alone? Will that defeat it? I don't know. I have no idea. Do not take advice from me on that situation. All I know is when I went to do whatever I did on the 6th, I wore a hat down, I wore a buff, and I wore glasses, and I never took it off. I parked very far away, and I walked. I walked a long way, and this was while I wasn't as heavy as I have been, but I was still up there. You got to think. No credit card. Do not take a credit card. Do not take your phone. I did not take my phone. So if you want to be incognito, full mask, hat, glasses, park far, far, far away. Walk 2 miles. Walk 2 miles to get to that place if you have to. At least a mile. At very least a mile. Do not take your credit card. Do not take your phone. I had a walkie-talkie, one of those cheap ones you pick up at a gas station that goes like a mile, and usually you do use that for like a caravan. I had one, Riddle had one, and that way we could get in contact with each other, somewhat of a distance, probably like a quarter mile or half a mile at most, but it was more than what we had. I'm still working on getting my radios up and all that. I've got so many. I got night vision I got to do. I got radio comms I got to do. And I'm getting there. But think of all the ways that they can track you. It's hard. It's really hard. GOP Representative grills officials during oversight hearing who executed Ashley Babbitt. House Democrats' attempt to spread disinformation during an oversight committee hearing about the January 6th event backfired after Republican congressmen grilled officials about a cover-up in the Ashley Babbitt murder and other big lies. Although the title of the hearing was the Capitol Insurrection, unexplained delays and unanswered questions, Democrats, including committee chair Representative Maloney of New York, were more interested in perpetuating an objectively false narrative, much of which has been debunked by evidence. Leading the rebuttal was Representative Paul Gosar of Arizona, who prominently had spoken out against the disputed election outcome during the joint session of Congress on the 6th. Shortly before, participants of a mostly peaceful pro-Trump protest breached or were invited into the Capitol. That is up for debate still, yes. Gosar denounced the Democrats' deceptive claims as outright propaganda and lies. Despite false media reports to the contrary, Babbitt was the only person killed during the incursion after she attempted to climb through a broken window in the Speaker's lobby, which had already been evacuated. She was posing a threat to nobody, and she was into a location that her tax dollars fund. So technically, she was breaking into her own house. And any damage done to that house comes from who? The homeowner. If I break a window in my house, guess who has to pay for it? I do. Just like, guess who had to pay for anything broken in there? The American people do. Why does the American people have to pay for it? Because we fucking own it. The Biden Justice Department has refused to release the killer's identity, but it determined that no charges would be filed since the killer acted appropriately. Video shows the officer, who was barricaded behind furniture in what appeared to be an alcove or corridor, step forward and take the kill shot with no advance warning, hitting Babbitt in either the neck or the upper torso. During the hearing, Gosar challenged former Acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen, who had replaced William Barr as the DOJ just a few weeks prior, to name the person responsible. Mr. Rosen, do you recall the name of the young lady, a veteran, wrapped in the U.S. flag that was killed in the Capitol, he began. Asked whether Babbitt was armed at the time, Rosen attempted to dodge the line of questioning. I just don't want to talk about that individual situations, he said. However, Gosar cut him off to reclaim his time, borrowing an interrogation tactic from the Democratic playbook that was notoriously used last year in a hearing with Rosen's predecessor. Rosen, who insisted he was not trying to be unhelpful, also refused to answer a basic question of record of whether Babbitt's death was a homicide, a fact confirmed by Washington, D.C.'s chief medical examiner on her official death certificate. Gosar again reclaimed his time. Who executed Ashley Babbitt, he asked. Rosen again refused to answer. After getting nowhere with Rosen, Gosar shifted his question to Robert Contry, chief of D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department, who had been named to the post only 4 days before the January 6th clash. He asked Contry what the MPD's rule of engagements were. The only time we engage during riot gear, that kind of thing, is when in situations where there's an actual attack going on, Conti said. Given the location of the killing, Babbitt's killer is likely to have been a member of the U.S. Capitol Police and not the MPD, further shrouding the case in mystery. The Capitol Police answered directly to congressional leaders, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Majority Leader Charles Schumer. Both of the top Democrats were deeply involved in spreading the partisan disinformation about the uprising in its immediate aftermath, as they sought to use impeachment to prevent former President Trump from holding office again. On Wednesday, Representative Andrew Clyde of Georgia sought to counter their bogus effort to paint the events as terrorist insurrection by noting that many who entered the Capitol processed through in an orderly and respectful manner. Gosar, who dismissed the claims of violence within the Capitol, demanding the surveillance footage from the building be released. He said the footage could provide exploratory evidence for nearly 500 individuals who have been arrested and charged as part of the DOJ's shock and awe campaign, and also the GOP congressmen like himself who have been accused by partisan radicals on the left of inciting a riot. Although he was unable during the hearing to offer anything in the way of direct answers to the GOP interrogation, Rosen robustly defended his response to the uprising. He and former acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller insisted that they took appropriate precautions by putting tactical and other elite units on standby. However, the two also maintained that they had avoided a more forceful initial response to the hysteria because they were fearful that they might be perceived as engaging a military coup. My obligation to the nation was prevented a constitutional crisis, Miller said. In a separate hearing before the Senate Appropriation Committee on Wednesday, far-left Attorney General Merrick Garland sought to justify his politicized response by falsely hyping white supremacy as the nation's #1 security threat. That's it right there. Did you know that? This is the #1 threat of America. This right here. #1 threat to America. I don't think I'm any better because of my color. But that doesn't matter because that's not what that is anymore. It used to be. It used to be that people who were that usually wore sheets, usually voted Democrat. Not anymore. Now, if you think everybody's equal, you are. All right. I know my chat was killing me right here, so let me get to this. I need those glasses that help you against facial recognition glasses. Is there ones? I have no idea. You can get good handheld CB radios at truck stops. Yes, you can. After this new infrastructure bill, Big Brother will be everywhere. They're already, well, are they? Infrastructure bill? I've already expected it. So, I mean, going out, I already know my license plates are getting red. I already know my cell phone is pinging the towers. Like, in order to go out without anybody knowing I'm going out, I have to go out in full garb and I got to walk or take a bicycle. And even my bicycle could probably, be led back to me. They are making 1984 real. They are. I just never thought I would be alive to see it. Me neither. We have our own version of Newspeak. All right, Guns. Thank you. If you're still here, thank you very much. Her family on Facebook says she never died. That's a psyop. I seen Antifa getting Trump shirt on bid. Also, each group had armbands to their royal. Yep, CNN was their Trump in on ACT gun control main goal. Maybe. Military has an easy job. You either Antifa or BLM. These dummies think they're a side. Trump biggest donor to kill Hillary, greatest showing on earth. Stupidity is the #1 threat to America. Yeah. Here's the thing. You see that the biggest threat is that other nations see how weak we are. Other nations see that we're too busy worried about what gender we are. Other nations see the bickering, the division. And the division is crazy. And everybody else, our dollar's going to crash. And then other nations are going to take us over. While we're worried about what gender we are, they're going to invade. And this, I don't know, man. Either we're going to split up as a nation or we're going to get taken over. Because we can't fight back. Look what happened on the Capitol on the 6th. If they had wanted to. They could have. That small group could have. If they wanted to that day. I don't know how many times I was told, what do you think you're going to do? Stand down a tank? Stand down a military jet? You know they got nukes, right? Dude, you think they're going to nuke the American people? If you think that, then yeah, we should be in the streets right now. But on the 6th of January, if they had wanted to, they could have. Can you imagine that? I was a domestic tourist before it was cool. What's that, HDP? Are you? Aren't you still working for like the man? I mean, I ain't gonna get into nothing, but aren't you still working for the man? What's up, Irish? How you doing? Yeah, me neither, Riddle. All right, cool. AOC turns against Biden after he defends Israel. I was surprised that he defended Israel, to be honest. But she slammed President Joe Biden this week after he said Israel has the right to defend itself from rocket attacks from Hamas. The pro-Palestinian terrorist group bombarded the Jewish nation state with more than a thousand missiles earlier this week as part of an overnight attack. The renewed hostility follows closely on the heels of the Biden's decision last month to reverse a Trump-era policy by supplying $235 million in aid to support Palestinian refugees. However, it is unclear whether the funding from America was applied directly to purchasing the weapons used in the attack. $235 million? Oh, and all of a sudden they found over 1,000 missiles? Coincidence? However, it is unclear. Okay, where is that? Biden has also recently announced a $90 billion payday and repealed sanctions for Iran, long understood to be a state sponsor of Hamas, as compensation for the Islamic Republic graciously agreeing to engage in talks about rejoining the Obama-era nuclear agreement. But despite showing tepid support for Israel, on Wednesday, Biden defended the longtime U.S. ally after speaking with the nation's prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. He's still around. Israel has the right to defend itself when you have thousands of rockets flying at your territory, he said. My hope is that we will see this coming to a conclusion sooner than later. Cortez immediately denounced Biden. Blanket statements like these, with little context or acknowledgement of what precipitated this cycle of violence, namely the expulsions of Palestinians and the attack on Al-Aqsa, dehumanize Palestinians and imply the U.S. will look the other way at human rights violations, she wrote on Twitter. It's wrong. She further complained that Biden had conflated everyday Palestinians with Hamas. Hamas often launches its attacks near schools, hospitals, and other strategic bases of operation in Palestinian territories, using innocent civilians as human shields to maximize the collateral damage from any counterstrikes. Yeah, I don't know about that. We're already getting taken over. There are 160 million people. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. You talking about the southern border? Yeah, I know. Mitt Romney was a gay cowboy before it was cool. Thousands of rockets. Thousands. About the pipeline, an 8th grader could have hacked into that system. Well, there you go. How long until somebody that actually wants to have some sort of nefarious shit? How long until they decide, you know what? America's weak. Let's take them out. We can do it. It won't be hard. They'll be too worried about what gender they are. It's not hard. You see the small group that almost took over America on the 6th? You see what happened to the oil pipeline? It's not hard. Let's try it. An outside audit 3 years ago of a major East Coastline pipeline company hit by a cyber attack found atrocious information management practices and a patchwork of poorly connected and secured systems. Its author told the Associated Press, "We found glaring deficiencies and big problems," said Robert Smallwood, whose consulting firm delivered an 89-page report in January of 2018 after a 6-month audit. I mean, an 8th grader could have hacked into that system. How far the company's Colonial Pipeline went to address the vulnerabilities isn't clear. Colonial said on Wednesday that since 2017, it has hired 4 independent firms for cybersecurity risk assessments and increased its overall IT spending by more than 50%. While it did not specify an amount, it said that it spent tens of millions of dollars. We are consistently assessing and improving our security practices, both physical and digital, the privately held Georgia company said in a response to questions from the AP about the audit findings. I do like it how all the government officials said, well, that's a private company, so that's on them. That's not on us. We didn't. Dude, it's the American economy. Not just the economy. It's the American. Like, if we don't have that, because we are just in time nation, we don't store anything anywhere. So, it's always just in time. That's going to shut down the nation. That will definitely open us up for anything that anybody wants to do. It did not name the firms who did the cybersecurity work but one firm, Roush Advisory Services, located in Atlanta near Colonial's headquarters, acknowledged being among them. Colonial's chief information officer sits on Roush's advisory board. There you go. The hackers from a Russian-speaking syndicate called DarkSide steal data before locking up networks to doubly extort victims. If a victim refuses to pay, they not only refuse to unscramble the data, but they also threaten to release sensitive material online. Colonial has not said whether it paid DarkSide. I bet it did. Smallwood reads portions of his reports to the AP, but would not share it because he said some of the content is confidential. He said he was paid about $50,000 for it. He cited, for example, Colonial's inability to locate a particular maintenance document. You're supposed to be able to find it within 15 minutes. It took them 3 weeks. All right, that's where I'm going to end it for the night. Thousands of rockets flying on your way, not thousands, dozens, and not rockets, rocks. What? Okay. They do have oil reserves. They just won't use until it gets real bad. I don't know. As I said, I could be 100% wrong. All right, I'm just some dude. But in my opinion, America's weak. America could easily be taken over by another foreign power or the American people, whichever side. And I would, if I was a betting man and we heard that, well, one group of the American public are going to take over the government and make their new government. Who do you think I would actually put money on? It's not the conservatives. It's not the 3%ers. It's not us. It's Antifa. I think, yeah, they might not have a job. Yeah, they might live in their mom's basement, but they're training and they're actively going out and doing shit. They're standing next to other people that they don't know in the same gear that they're in, knowing that they're going to go beat some Nazis. But they're out there doing it, and we're not, because we're too worried about other things. So if anybody's going to do anything, it's going to be them. I mean, they've already done it in a couple cities for a while. I don't know. Do they have another autonomous zone? They might. Let's see. Now they are always paying now, PS. Yeah, they are not always paying now. Oh, yeah? You don't... What do you guys think? Do you guys think they paid the hacker group? I think they paid the hacker group, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, but they'll try to let the people have it. Probably not. Only a couple fuel stations open up around here in Chattanooga. Love saying the name. Chattanooga. Damn it, Stinger. No. Oh, you want more? You want more of that one? Separately, shippers have complained to the Federal Energy Regulation Commission that Colonial inflated what it spends on a pipelining integrity to deflect accusation it overcharges them. Colonial rejects this, citing the rising cost of safely maintaining its system. So they've been skimming money off the top? Is that what it is? We would go to jail for that kind of thing. They don't. Yeah. If you deleted 30,000 emails when you got a subpoena to give them over to the authorities, you'd go to jail. 100%. That right there should tell you exactly where you are in the grand scheme of things. We are supposed to be the masters. We the people. Remember when Biden was talking about we the people in his, I think it was the address to the state, or the State of the Union address? Yeah, it was the State of the Union address, right? We the people in government. No, motherfucker. We the people as the people who put your ass in government. That's who we the people are. You're not we the people. But they're the ones that need the security. They're the ones that want to be able to get out of going to jail. They're the ones that will never go to jail. Epstein killed himself. Who else is going to jail? They couldn't find any evidence of any kind? Or they just didn't want to? Because some people have enough money to make those problems go away. All right, before I go, though, I am going to hit up not Discord. I'm going to hit up my D-Live, and we are going to give out some lemons right now. I'm going to add more lemons to it, just like I said I would. So there's 50 more. Submit. And then I got to figure out how to send those out. All right. Can I add more to it? There we go. 100 lemons. And distribute. Sweet. Now down below in the descriptions, there are links. Go check those out. We have all the causes I believe in and support. We have the GOA. They're actively trying to help get some of your gun rights back through the court. We have ProjectRecover.org, an organization that goes out and looks for lost service members and returns their remains to their families. We have my favorite one, which is my good friend Irish USMC Vets, Rally Point Irish. He is trying to start up a location where vets can stay room and board free while learning a new life skill like farming, blacksmithing, and gunsmithing. We have all the places that you can follow me. If I am no longer on YouTube, I do have a backup channel on YouTube. I have Gab. I have DLive. I'm currently on DLive live right now. And I just distributed rewards, but nobody got it.
There's nobody clicked the dang chest.
Nobody clicked it. Nah, that's all right. We'll just roll it over to tomorrow. So make sure you click it when I say that I'm going to be distributing rewards. Let's see. I think that's it. Oh, the channel. So half of all the money made on this channel goes directly to Irish USMC Vets GoFundMe, the Rally Point Irish. I used to donate to that a lot. Unfortunately, we are no longer monetized. We are 100% demonetized. So if you want to help this channel out with your money, there are ways to do so down below. Definitely not required, but if you want to, that's how you can do it. Half of that's going to go to my good friend Irish USMC Vets, Rally Point Irish, because I do believe in that cause quite a bit. If you want to help the channel without spending a dime, you can by liking, commenting, subscribing, and obviously the biggest one of all is sharing this kind of content with people you think would like it. And that would help me out quite a bit. Click the chest to claim the reward. Woot. Quantum Lotus says woot. Did she win? Because it didn't say anybody won. All hell broke loose.
No, she said she was too late.
All hell broke loose when the people find out Orange Man is part of Jab. Always did big investment in med industry before the pandemic. I'm here, not there today. All right, cool. Dang, you missed it. Sorry. Great stream, brah. Godspeed to everyone. Thank you. Click the chest, bro. Cool. I'm wary about clicking on things. No, you're all right. You don't have to click on nothing if you don't want to. Thank you for being here. I mean, I really do appreciate it. How come you didn't get it? I don't know. You missed it? We'll just keep rolling it over. Tomorrow it's going to be up to 150 lemons. So, I mean, it's getting up there, right? But thank you very much for joining me tonight on the Evening Catch-Up. We will be back again tomorrow at the same times. They're all posted right there. We also have a Patriot Bible chat if you believe in the Lord and you believe in freedom. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be talking about on Saturday, but me and Riddle Girl are discussing it. We might talk about Revelations as a deep subject. I have no idea. Oh, what's up, HDP? How you doing? Anyway, that's all I got for you. Until tomorrow, make sure to keep your family close. Watch out for that government. Try to live as free as you can in this tyrannical world we find ourselves living in. And I mean, we'll see how much longer we got as a nation. Until then, though, peace.